Today I've chosen two artefacts to embrace a discussion supporting the importance of building an inclusive, just and equitable education system in Australia. These artefacts, one which is a physical object and another an activity for the students, will help engage and explain the matters surrounding diversity and equality, and most importantly, a sense of belonging within the school classroom and the community. These artefacts would be suitable to use for a foundation to Year 2 level. The first artefact is a book titled ABC, Let's Celebrate You and Me. As per the title suggests, this book celebrates the majority of what makes us all unique, but part of the same community and human race. It illustrates people with different bodies, skin colours, vision impairments, those with language barriers, and it even includes sign language. The book raises critical questions by children that other books wouldn't. For example, I read this to my 3-year-old daughter and she questioned why one of the children was in a wheelchair. This question allowed me to explain to her that although the child was in a wheelchair, that she's just like us, with skin, eyes, a heart, and can be our friend. My daughter is a bit younger, but as it is targeted for a slightly older age bracket, it connects the vision and words to the readers, which is vital at a young age. This is also important in preventing the normalization of culture, the process by which one culture dominates and silences another, a trend that has happened in the past which cannot continue in our wonderfully diverse community. It aligns with Goal 1 of the Ministerial Council, that is Australian schooling promoting equity and excellence to provide all students with access to high quality schooling that is free from discrimination based on gender, language, sexual orientation, culture, ethnicity, religion, health or disability, socioeconomic backgrounds or geographical locations. The book supports the notion that all children should feel safe, protected, and be able to exercise the customs of their culture, whether through language or food when appropriate, as per the United Nations Children's Rights. This book is an excellent resource that can be drawn upon throughout the year as a refresher and a base for all activities. Teachers should also be using this book to improve the quality of their teaching and acknowledge the importance of their students' differences. This book shows students shouldn't be underrepresented in gifted education based on their race or their socioeconomic status, an unfortunate error teachers still make. The second artefact to tie in with this book is an activity to cement and demonstrate cultural diversity after reading about it. The activity uses Smarties. Or it could be any lolly mix, but I've chosen Smarties because they're nut free. The teacher hands out one Smartie to each student. Once each student has a coloured Smartie, the teacher is to ask everyone with a yellow Smartie to stand up and sit at the back of the classroom. The rest of the class would then play a game or use iPads for free time for approximately 10 minutes whilst the yellow Smartie children watch from the back. The teacher can then discuss the feelings of how the children with the yellow Smarties felt left out, how it can be hurtful and excluding. The teacher can ask how the students playing the game felt watching their peers not being able to play. This will allow students to grasp how it feels being left out and how it feels to leave someone else out based on something out of their control. Going forward, such activities can be used to make children aware of how important it is to be inclusive. Topics to be aware that teachers can use as examples of how people can feel excluded are gender equality and how women can be treated differently to men, or how children in wheelchairs are not able to do certain sports based on their physicality. It is important to teach such young lessons to students early on, as the media uses stereotypes to portray people with disabilities to suit their own movies and shows without realising the impact it has on stamping these onto children. These two artefacts were chosen for this age group because it's an engaging way to get the children involved. I mean, who doesn't love Smarties? But the book is simple yet colourful, and it doesn't take long to read, and the pictures used are bright and raise some really important questions. It is a good starting point that aligns with the shape of the Australian curriculum, where it begins to acknowledge that students learn differently and have different needs, yet we are all part of a school community in Australia. There are some limitations. For example, there isn't much awareness about learning disabilities or autism. The book itself isn't very large, so multiple copies or a smart board version may be required. The physical copy would be useful though for children to go to for quick access. The use of these artefacts are a great beginning to the entrance year levels at school and will improve child language development, social skills, and acceptance of a wide variety of traditions, giving them the best educational experience possible. Thank you for watching this presentation.